In episode 1 of the supply and demand zone trading series, we covered the core concept of what a supply and demand zone is, and in this episode we will be diving deeper to understand the two types of supply and demand zones that you will be using in your trading. So there are two types of zones when it comes to supply and demand trading. The first zone is the PV zone, the peak and valley zone. This is when we have a drop, base, and then a rally up. The second type of zone is what we call a CP zone, a continuation pattern zone. This is when we have a rally, base, and then another rally. All right, first let's break down the valley and peak zones, or the peaks and valleys, whatever you want to call it. For demand, we have, again, the drop, base, rally, and then for supply, it is literally just the opposite. It is the rally, base, drop. Usually these moves are found at the tops and bottoms of price. So looking at a real chart here, you can see the PV zone at the bottom, the drop, base, rally zone with one single candle basing, beautiful trade off of that area of demand. And then at the top, we have our rally, base, drop with the two candle basing. What a trade from that zone as well. And notice how they are both at the tops and bottoms of price. In this example here, you can see somewhat of a rare situation where we have our obvious low and our obvious high, and we actually have a PV zone in the middle of that move, which again, it is a rare situation. Usually we will find our CP zones in the middle of the move, which we will be talking about in later slides. Now, both of these zones are very strong patterns, but the PV zone specifically is even stronger because these are clear swing points where price strongly reverses. Usually this is a reversal pattern, which indicates a lot of strength and a lot of institutional buying. So let's take a look at this scenario here. We clearly had a downward trend at this point, and we got a sudden reversal to the upside. Now there's actually two zones here. We have zone number 1, which is our CP zone. Why is this a CP zone? Because we have a rally, the base, and then the another rally. And really quick, guys, remember, these zones need to have explosive candles to the upside. No little basing, little boo-boo candles on the way out. We need explosive moves, which indicate institutional buying. So we had this zone here, and look at that. This zone failed miserably. I mean, we did base out a little bit here first, but it failed. And what do we have just below it? Well, we had our PV zone, a drop, base, rally zone, and look at the trade from that zone. I mean, if you targeted the high here, easily a 4-to-1 take profit here. Let's just say 3-to-1 to play it safe. So what a trade from that PV zone. And this is just a great example of when we have two zones. A question I get all the time is, which zone do we pick? And in this instance, both of these zones are very good. Look at the explosive moves away from both of these areas of demand. They were both fantastic trades. And if you just think about it in a risk reward concept, you took a loss in the first trade, whatever, and then what a win from the next trade. Let's say you only made 2-to-1 on the PV zone down below. You're up 1%, and that is fantastic. So it's just a great example here of you can't be scared to take the next trade, especially if both of the zones are very good. But why is this such a stronger zone? Because clearly the origin of this entire move that you see on this chart was created from that PV zone at the very bottom. Clearly, there was tons of institutional selling as we dropped in price. Then we based out, which is where the banks and institutions started to accumulate long positions. We shot up aggressively. We did create two zones, took a loss in the first one. The second zone was a fantastic trading setup, and that is the power of supply and demand trading and letting your risk to reward play out in the long run. And just like in life, there are pros and cons to everything. I just explained the power of this zone, and one of the negative things about the zone is that often it is a reaction to a previous zone. Let me break this down for you guys. So you can see we had our drop and then our base and then our rally from this area right here. And look at that. That zone failed pretty miserably. It was almost as like if it wasn't even there. And if you look to the left, you can clearly see that this is actually a reaction from this drop base rally zone that we had earlier. And depending on where you drew it, if you drew it a little bit higher, we actually already got the trade from that area of demand. So when this zone was formed, it was pretty much created from the previous zone. And the logic behind this is that, let's say the institutions are buying at this general price level. They already pretty much filled all of their orders at the return to the zone right there. And that's where we got that initial trade. So when we created another drop base rally PV zone, there wasn't many leftover buy orders sitting there because the banks already filled their previous buy orders from their previous buy, or they're not really interested at buying at that exact price level again. And then obviously we did target some sort of liquidity down below all of these lows. So that is the danger of these PV zones. We have to be mindful that sometimes there might not be any more leftover buy orders, or the institutions might have already filled the rest of the orders they were interested in buying at that price level. Now, don't be like this guy who was coping in the comments of my last video saying that I only do this on replay. I don't. I do a weekly Forex forecast every single Saturday on my YouTube channel for free. So you might as well hit that subscribe button. And if you are enjoying this video, hit that like button as well. And to see the accuracy of this type of analysis for free, just hit that subscribe button and tune in every single Saturday. And if you guys want access to this PDF that I've been showing you throughout this entire video, it is in the Diamond membership, which comes with much more: daily market breakdown videos and much more training, Sunday Zoom sessions with homework, and all of that good stuff as well. All right, now we are going to be breaking down the CP zone, the continuation pattern. And what that means is it's in the name. It is a continuation pattern, meaning we usually have a rally and then the base and then another rally. This is often found in trends and in momentum moves. And usually these zones are found in the middle of the move. This is the example from earlier, the most typical situation when looking at continuation pattern zones, where we have, again, the obvious low down below. We rallied up from that low, had a nice rally candle. We had two candle basing here, followed by that other explosive move to the upside, the next rally. You can see this was a great trade from this zone. And what do you notice? It is not a reversal pattern. It is with the trend and with the momentum. So for supply with a continuation pattern zone, we have a drop, the base, followed by the next drop. And then for demand, we have the rally, the base, and the next rally up. And unlike the PV zone, the CP zone indicates a pause in momentum rather than a reversal in price. So you can see in this real example here, we clearly have some sort of trend to the upside here on the chart. And what do you guys notice? Look at this explosive move away. Single candle basing. There's our area of demand right here. We don't want to draw it too small in these situations. We like to go just a little bit bigger. And you can see there was almost no drawdown from this trade right here. Remember, we need that explosive move. We're not looking for little boo-boo moves away, little basing candles like you see down here. We are looking for that explosive candle to the upside after that pause in momentum. And notice how it's not a red candle. The basing is not a red candle. That it does not need to be a red candle. It just needs to be a basing candle, which indicates that pause in momentum followed by that explosive rally to the upside. Now, what I really like about the CP zones, they are my favorite type of zone, is that there's usually no drawdown and your take profit is usually hit quicker. Now, it's obviously not 100% of the time, but since we usually find these zones with momentum and with trend, usually your take profit is hit much quicker. So let's say you were looking for a 2-to-1 here. It was hit pretty quick. It was hit only in 5-6 candles here in this situation, where if you're trading reversal patterns, a lot of the time price takes a while to get to your take profit, and often you will see price come back to your zone several times, where in this situation, barely any drawdown here and a very, very quick take profit, which is my favorite type of situation. And you can even see over here a little single candle basing, drop, base, drop, area of supply, a little bit of drawdown here. But ultimately, if you were targeting the low in this situation with a decently wide stop loss, you made a nice 4-to-1 take profit here, and it was hit relatively quick, right? It's not like price came back to the zone multiple times and then rallied down. We pretty much took off almost immediately and went to our take profit. And that's the beautiful thing about trading these CP zones. Very, very quick take profit compared to the PV zones, and typically there's not going to be a lot of drawdown. So check out this zone here. This is our PV zone, our rally base drop area of supply. You can see we came back for the first test of the zone. We came back for an immediate second test. 3-4 times we tested this zone. If you were targeting the low, it took 4 tries at that zone to actually hit your take profit over here if you were targeting the low. I'm not saying we should always target the low, but I'm just saying if you are looking for larger risk to reward moves, usually our PV zones, we will see multiple tests from the zone before we actually get that large rally. And that's just, and it's not a bad thing. It's just there's pros and cons to both types of zones, and you have to be able to accept these most typical situations when trading these types of zones. That is all we have for today's episode today. I hope you guys have been learning a lot throughout this series. The next episode will be on the structure of a supply and demand zone, which will be very, very important. So make sure you hit that subscribe button so you guys follow along with this entire series and along with my weekly Forex forecast so you can see the actual live power of this analysis. Hope you guys enjoyed. Hit that like button. I will see you in the next episode.